Hello YouTube, this is Michael and it is Wednesday, January? No, sorry. It's Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. And this is an unusual video. It's one that I've contemplated making for a little while and I decided now is the time. This is going to be kind of like an 8 to 10 minute video, but I want to talk about some things that maybe most people don't think about, and that is the perspective of a lottery clerk. So a little background, I'm not going to divulge my exact employer, but I do work the customer service desk at a supermarket in Colorado. So as part of my job, I do deal with lottery transactions. I sell tickets, I redeem tickets, run reports, so on and so forth. And there are some things that I wish the lottery player or the lottery customer would know. So I'm going to get into basically my top peeves, my top enjoyments, and just some bizarre in between. Okay? You know, I see on any given day dozens of lottery transactions, and if, you know, the jackpot, like on Lotto, Powerball, Cash, or Mega Millions, etc., are particularly large, then we'll see more sales. The supermarket I work at is routinely one of the top sellers in the state. I would say probably top 20, 25. So we really do sell a lot of tickets in a year, both in terms of volume and dollar amount. So I have a pretty good idea about any and all things lottery related, not only from my personal play as a player, but also as a representative of a business that sells them. So, one thing that absolutely drives me crazy as a lottery clerk is when people come up to me and they say, I want a Powerball ticket with play. In most states, I understand that's not going to be an issue because most states only have power play. But here in Colorado, on our Powerball tickets, we offer what's called power play and double play. Power play, of course, is the multiplier that applies to all non-jackpot prizes that you can purchase for $1. But we also offer what's called double play, which enters your numbers into a secondary drawing for lower prizes that are higher in value, but it caps the top jackpot at 10 million. So when somebody comes up to me and says, I want Powerball with play, and I ask, okay, do you want power play, double play, or both? They repeat the statement, I want Powerball with play. There are two different play options. Sometimes I have to go back and forth with them 4 or 5 times for them to finally come to a decision on which one they want. And this is after I explain to them that we offer 2 different play add-ons and what they are and what they do. So that leads me to a bigger point. You know, I really wish players, when players come up and purchase lottery tickets, I wish they would at least take the time to know the basics of the game that they want to purchase. Okay? It's really not that difficult. At least I don't think so. On a semi-related topic, if for whatever reason, as a player, you are hard to understand, be it you speak with an accent or you have a soft voice or whatever, do your clerk a favor and please write down what you want or fill out the play slips. I cannot tell you how frustrating it is. And mind you, I speak Spanish, so, I can at least help those who are Spanish speakers, but I have occasionally had people who speak a foreign language other than Spanish, and the language barrier gets very real. Yes, there's Google Translate, but usually what I resort to doing in that situation is just pulling out a play slip and pointing at what I'm trying to inquire what they want. Contrary to some people's opinions, I don't mind if you come up with a big stack of tickets for me to check. But I do mind if you don't, particularly on the scratch tickets, have the bottom barcode scratched. That does slow me down. On the scratch tickets, we have a 2D barcode in Colorado on our scratch tickets, and at the very least, if you're going to come up with a big stack of tickets, please take the time to have those scratched for me, especially if it's a busy day. I can't stress enough, yes, I don't mind checking your tickets for you, and I love paying out winners. I don't even mind checking a big stack of tickets that have a bunch of losers in them, but please, for everybody's sake, at least have the barcodes ready to go. Another thing that frustrates me is people don't, especially with draw games, they don't realize that they have time limits. I don't care what state lottery you're playing, every ticket has a time limit. Some it's as short as 90 days, others it's as much as a year. In Colorado, it's 6 months from the date of the drawing. Yes, scratch tickets also have expiration dates. Those you have to do a little more homework to find out, but the official definition is 6 months from the date they are closed by the lottery. In order to know that, you'll have to log on to the lottery website and find out which tickets are in their 180-day cycle. At least in Colorado, it does tell you when the last day to redeem each scratch game is. But a fair hint, if you haven't seen a scratch ticket in your local markets in 2 to 3 months, it's probably a safe bet that it's going to be closed, that it's in its 180-day cycle. As a lottery player and a lottery clerk, I do have to tell you, the lottery advises you to sign the back of your ticket immediately. Most of the time, if it's a minor winner, nobody's going to check. I certainly don't. But on the flip side, we will check for age, and I won't hesitate to card you if I don't think you're 18. I love it when a person comes up to me with a big winner, okay? Anything that's triple digits, I love it. It makes my day. It's not my money that I'm paying out. It's technically the state's, and my store is just an agent for them. But I love that. I love doing that. It really makes my day when I go to scan the ticket and it pops up with the claim at lottery slip. I've had that happen a couple times, and that is a huge thrill. Having had it happen to me once as a player, I can tell you it's definitely a thrill for the clerk as well. Okay. Believe it or not, a lot of the time, if you ask the clerk nicely with your, if you have a special request or something, for example, if you want to play a certain set of numbers, or you want to play X amount of drawings on consecutive drawings on a game, or you even want your redeemed ticket back after it's scanned. If you ask the clerk nicely, most of the time they are amenable to those requests. Sometimes they can't do it because of certain store policy. For example, at our store, we have to make, a customer can have their winning ticket back after it's redeemed, but we do have to make a photocopy showing that we did indeed cash out a winning ticket. That's just for our bookkeeping purposes. Admittedly, sometimes you get a clerk that's less than knowledgeable in the lottery and thus is less than helpful. Try a different clerk on a different day. The fact of the matter is, it can be done. As a lottery clerk, I do wish other lottery clerks would at the very least know the basics. I don't expect every lottery clerk to know every rule and every sub-rule and every exception and this and that and the other, but at the very least, know the basics. For example, know what the redemption limits are. Here in Colorado, anything 150 or under can be cashed at any retailer. Anything 151 to 599 is retailer's discretion, and anything 600 and above has to be claimed through a lottery claim office. Please understand, when you buy jackpot games, most of the time we cannot cancel them. So please, please, please take the time to double check and make sure of what you want and be clear in communicating what you want. Because believe it or not, we can be personally responsible for any misprints. And I've seen some of my fellow service desk clerks end up with some massive misprints due to miscommunication from the customers. So, please don't put us in that position. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here, but I'm gonna close with a couple funny anecdotes. Recently at my workplace, we had our lottery vending machine replaced. We had a push button kind, and it's gotten replaced with a touchscreen one. Our push button kind one broke down so often, I gave it the nickname of Kenny from South Park. It stuck. Why did I nickname it Kenny, you might ask? Well, if you know South Park, then you know that Kenny is the character who meets literally a bazillion and one different ways to die. And it seemed like our lottery machine was going down about as often as Kenny did. So, that would be why. When the lottery instituted a requirement that that each player had to scan their ID at the machine, you wouldn't believe the number of people who couldn't figure out how to work the scanner. Even with step-by-step instructions, they still weren't getting it. Some of them still don't to this day. And finally, sometimes the funniest transactions at the lottery counter are the ones where the customers come up and go, well, I'm here to make my daily, weekly, whatever, donation to the parks. They are the ones that say, I never win anything. They hand you the stack of tickets, and all of a sudden, up pops one that's a $100 winner. I'm like, really? I thought you said you never won anything. Those transactions make my day too. I hope this gives you some insight as to the retailer side of the camera. If there's anything I've missed, anything that I didn't cover, any additional points you want to make, sound off in the comments section. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.